Hey guys, hope you're having a great evening. This video is going to be geared towards one of my favorite subjects and probably one of your favorite as well, and that's silver. First and foremost, we have had a couple significant things going on this week in the news. So first of all, you guys are aware of the senseless bombings in Boston during the marathon. And my hearts and prayers go out to all the folks that have had their lives affected as a result. There just wasn't a need for it, but that's my 2 cents on the matter. And the second is the silver precious metals market, for that matter. It's not just silver, but the precious metal market has been kind of dipping a little, and it's brought few inquiries, a few questions on what's happening, how it's affecting your buying right now as far as your silver stacks, and I can completely understand a lot of it that's going on. As of yesterday, and that being April, was it 15th, price of silver closed at just under $23 an ounce. Now that's a tremendous departure from where we were at a few weeks ago, when we were still up close to $28, $29 an ounce, and we were further up yet at the end of the year for 2012. Okay, like usually we are during the holidays. And I've had a couple questions, and I'll go ahead and address them regarding what the market's doing, how it's affecting your buying at the LCS, that being the local coin shops, or just private parties, anywhere you could get silver online, like Provident Metals, APMEX. There are some bargains out there, but there's a lot of dealers that are still selling what they have at higher levels, huge premiums, as if silver was still $30 an ounce. And there's a couple theories on that matter. Not so much theories, but there are a couple choices that dealers decide to make when we come to a dip in the precious metals market. Now, as you know, gold has been dropping like a rock per ounce. It's somewhere in the 1300s. I didn't really keep tabs on it today. I know it didn't move. It moved up, so it recovered a little bit, but not nearly how much it lost yesterday, which I think it dropped down $122 an ounce, which that is a huge drop. And let's take a look at the market as a whole. The dollar seems to be getting a little bit stronger, as evidenced by the avatar on my channel. I have a bunch of 20s or 100s, I forgot, in a toilet paper roll, and at the time I thought it was pertinent because money, just paper money, fiat currency is useless. It's paper, and the more and more that the government prints, the more and more there is of it out there, therefore making it worth a lot less in comparison to the goods and services you buy. So understanding the market and where it's at, the dollar's getting stronger. Investors are starting to put their money into other commodities, into stocks, bonds. Gold and silver has always been the stable commodity, the safe haven investment, so to speak, when the market is down. But now that retail has been going up, the housing market is starting to recover, even in places like here in California. There's been a huge drive for mortgages, home buying. A lot of investors are going out there buying homes to flip, and we've seen that especially here in the Bay Area. So understanding what the market's doing will help you get a better understanding of what silver is doing. So now that people are investing their money into other areas, okay, obviously that's going to leave a bigger supply of silver. All right, silver has been predominantly traded as paper stocks on the stock, the stock exchange, or in the stock market rather. But in its physical form, there is still a lot out there, and it's trading at a premium. Okay, what dealers are doing is they're withholding on the stock, on their physical stock that they have, and not selling it because they know that that silver will more than likely recover like it has in the past. Now, we've seen these dips on occasion 2-3 times a year. The price of silver would drop down to $25 an ounce, and it would bounce back up, and the whole process is gradual. Like, it doesn't take 6 months for it to happen. It happens within weeks. Okay, so with that being said, dealers and silver exchange, precious metal exchanges are holding on to their stock. As some of you may have noticed, the U.S. Mint has halted production on some of their more predominant, larger type of silver products, namely like the America the Beautiful hockey pucks. They've halted production on those just to wait and see what the market's going to do, because I'm sure the Mint has paid a tremendous price for silver to produce the product that they want to sell to you. So as pricey as their stuff is, they're well within the right to halt on goods like the American Silver Eagle that you see right here, which I think they even halted that, but I'm not sure if it's the regular or just the W minted pieces. Some of you might clarify that for me if you're a big U.S. Mint purchaser of their goods. So they've halted the production of some of their biggest silver goods. I've personally talked to several dealer buddies of mine here in the Bay Area, and a lot of them either have no stock on hand because nobody is selling their silver, as far as just people off the street coming in to sell silver, because it's just not an attractive sell right now. People want to wait and see what the market's going to do, and a lot of them are under the impression that it's going to bounce back up. Or in the case of a couple dealers, they're actually taking their silver stock, pulling it out of their cases, and then putting it in the safe. Okay, and they're just not selling because they're into it too deep. Now, there are dealers that are selling silver, and I'll let you know that they're being purchased at a furious rate because a lot of folks are under the impression that it's selling and that it's a good time to buy. And it is. At around $23 an ounce, it's a great time to buy. I have normally seen the new benchmark being $25 an ounce. I do not see it personally going any lower than, say, $20, and I'll tell you why. The cost to manufacture and to mine the silver in its purest ore form is running about $15 an ounce, cost-wise. So if it's running right around there, typically you won't see the silver drop anything below that. That's how the market is somewhat affected. Now, I might be wrong, but in years past, since the early 80s, that's kind of been the trend. And even maybe 10-15 years ago, the cost of mining silver was down around $3-4 an ounce. So that's how that plays out. So there have been a couple listeners to my broadcasts that have mentioned that I've gone to dealer XYZ and they're still selling jug silver at a huge premium. I'm like, yeah, that's the only way that they're going to make money and recoup money is by selling it at that higher price. So if the price of silver were to stay where it's at statically for the next 6 months, you could rest assured that the rest of the market will catch up. A lot of the dealers will start to sell their 90% or sterling or actual 0.999 fine material at the going rate. Okay, so it's just a waiting game. But at the same time, do you really want to wait? It may not last long, but who's to say? That's the funny thing about the stock market. It's really just a huge gamble. So my advice is the market is going at $23 an ounce. It's just over that today. It's recovered somewhat. Shop around, see what you could do. I know dealers like Provident Metals and Atmex have been selling in accordance to the current spot price of silver. Now, whether or not they have any stock, I'm not sure. Okay, I've been kind of standing pat. I've been buying a little bit of silver here and there. I actually picked up some 40% Kennedy halves out of all things yesterday at $2.75 a piece, and that's the cheapest it's been for a while. So everybody keep your heads up. Look for the bargains because they are out there. There are some dealers that had so much money tied up in silver that they are still selling based off the current rates. Those are the guys you want to look for. They just need to unload so they have some cash equity going back into their business. So with that being said, that wraps up the little roundtable discussion on the silver market. We'll see how it plays out in the next week. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in, and please comment. I'd love to hear everything you guys say. There are some of you that have followed the stock market and everything else quite vividly, so I respect and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. And yeah, if you guys do videos, make a video response. This is my 2 cents. I've been a conservative kind of silver investor, so it's not my main area of expertise, but I do follow it pretty good. Thanks again, guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch you guys back up probably after the Santa Clara show this weekend. All right, have a nice evening.